This show is brought to you by Squarespace and Gamefly. Hi guys and welcome to episode 7 of Food Mob, the interactive cooking show. Got some real treats for you this week. Actually, did a little live web chat the other day and asked people what they'd love to see on the show. 3 or 4 people said chili, so chili it is. We're gonna make the ultimate chili, and it's one of those sort of recipes where everybody's got their own opinion on it, the way it should be done, like real spicy or herbs, or I'm gonna show you my way. Hopefully there'll be loads of debate and people will think that theirs is better, but that's what the show's all about. First off, as always, first off, how's it going, Rob and Aaron?
Yes, great.
All good? A few people asking about you actually in the forums and on the live chat and stuff about what you have been up to. Just basically fill them in on what you were up to. So first tweet actually is from Guttermanster. He sent in the perfect wedges, stunning photo. So he's made, I think that's probably the best, let's make a little bit of noise. Probably the best example of the wedges that I've seen, and people are making the wedges all the time. I think that's one recipe that's really sort of stuck with them. Cooked pizza from scratch last night from Food Mob, tasted amazing. Tomato, chicken and cheese from Simnor. Very suave looking photo there, avatar picture Simnor. That's a really impressive looking pizza that you've cooked. Tonight was pizza night, hope you enjoyed. Made a little video there actually, Mongo105. I think he's actually sent in photos before, hasn't he? And this other guy, what's this called when the photos stop instead of video? It's on the computer, the noise. What's it called? Stop motion. This guy's made a stop motion video of making the pizza, which is really cool. Taking a lot of time. He shows how the dough rises and all that sort of stuff. Really cool. I think people really were impressed with the sort of pizza recipe, and it's something that everybody has wanted to try. I think we've seen more sort of user submissions this week than ever before. But going back, there's a few of the old recipes that are still there. GB Freeman, one of the best steaks that I've seen. Perfect grill marks, check that out, Rob. Pink in the center, really nice grill marks. I think you get a 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. This one actually from 86 Rin. He's got his iPad beside the, we've given up on the iPad here. No good. I've given up on it. The guys still think it's brilliant. I don't actually use my iPad at all. I think it's useless. Good for stuff like the show, but he's put his iPad beside the burger. That's pretty cool. Pizza made by Cute Guitarist. A couple of pizzas there, really, really nice. My first pizza from scratch before oven, that is from jkim.ca. Really, really impressive. He's got some nice mozzarella on there. Can see how that would melt in nicely. And the last one is a salmon pizza from Chef NE. I think he's made a little boo-boo and burnt it a little bit around the outsides, or she. Done a good job on hiding that up, but it does look really, really tasty. Last one is a lovely one on Facebook, which looks exactly, check that out, Rob. Doesn't that look like something you get from Domino's or...
yeah, what have they done with the base? It's actually looking really good.
It's actually exactly like something you get from Domino's, so fair play. I think they put some spicy stuff on there, really, really nice. Probably is from Domino's. They've probably just taken it out of the box and pretending that they've made it. Right, that's last week. Moving on to this week, chili. It's going to be absolutely delicious. The ingredients are always simple on this show. We've made them even more simple this week. Mince or ground beef, depending on what part of the world you're in. Onions, some tinned kidney beans, some chopped tomatoes, bit of chili, garlic, onion. That's it. Couldn't be easier to make a chili. I'm going to serve mine with rice today. The thing with rice is it's very, very hard to cook. I've even seen so many chefs getting it wrong. And it really is one of those things that's very, very tricky until you know how to do it once, which is now, and then it becomes remarkably easy. So what I do is I spread a little bit of rice in the pan. Now what we're going to do is we're going to wash it off. Rice, by its very nature, has a lot of starch on it. And you can actually feel it sort of stick into your hands. So what you want to do is you want to wash that off. So just a little bit of cold water, and then just run that off. Can you guys cook rice?
Yeah, that microwave one.
The microwave one.
I generally do, but it's mainly like that.
And does it not end up like real sticky, or have you perfected it, have you?
I wouldn't say perfected, no. I'd say I've got it all right, but it ends up a bit dry. I'd say I like it a bit kind of more moist.
Moist.
Yeah, that's great.
Moist is good. Lovely word, moist.
Lovely word,
So what we've got there is, I don't have any measurements. That's the key. Some people do it with cups and stuff. I actually use my hands. Obviously hands are really, really clean. And you just want to make sure that the rice sort of comes up about 1/3 of the way up your finger, if you know what I mean. And then the water is the other 2/3. Does that make sense? No? You're both looking a bit baffled. So hands in there, and the bottom 1/3 I can feel rice. I can also feel it getting a bit hot. Is rice, and then the next 2/3 is water. So you've got 1/3 rice and then 2/3 water. So even if you're making a load of rice, tiny amount, stick to that rule. And what we're going to do then is bring it up to a furious boil. So really, really hot temperature. Now, without further ado, chili. Okay, so first thing we're going to start off with is some oil in our pot. Nice generous amount of oil. And we're going to use 3 sort of flavorings here that are pretty much used in all cooking. So first off is onion. Little diced onion, finely diced as you can get it. I'm also going to add in some of my lovely plants over here, which is thyme. So just ripping those leaves off, so a little bit of thyme, really awesome flavors coming out of that. What else have you guys been up to this weekend? Shopping?
Yeah.
Spending all your money as
Buying new video games and buying some new shoes.
Has the girlfriend been getting in, or fiance, isn't it?
That's correct, yeah.
Rob has got a fiance. How long are you engaged?
Nearly 6 months.
6 months. And you're still quite young though, aren't you?
Yeah. Young enough, like.
Not giving anything away there, Rob.
Yeah.
Okay, nice fine dice of garlic now. I've just got 3 cloves of garlic. And these 3 flavors, garlic, onions, and thyme. Really, really flavoursome. Use them in pastas, use them in sauces, use them in pretty much anything you want, but they really do add a nice base to things. So, nice fine dice. Now if you can see into that pot, which I'm sure you can, Aaron, you can see that they're not getting burnt. So many people I see making sauces or stuff like that burn the garlic and the onions, and that really does leave a bitter sort of taste in there. So, sweating that off. You guys big fans of chili?
Yeah, I love anything hot like that.
Do you like it with a real,
Like a real kick.
real kicks?
Yeah.
Do you like hot stuff, Aaron?
I love real cakes, yeah.
Okay, everybody loves real kicks.
Hot stuff.
Right. So, now you can see that sort of sweating off really, really nicely. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add in our ground beef. And at this stage, what we want to do is we want to actually crank that temperature up a little bit. Very much in the same way that, if any of you remember a few episodes ago, we did the perfect steak. We want to sear that meat and get some sort of brown caramelization on it. So, nice high temperature. So that'll take about 2 or 3 minutes to cook. You can see the rice sort of starting to come to the boil. That's about another 2 or 3 minutes away as well. As those both come up to temperature, I'm going to tell you about our first sponsor this week, which is Squarespace. Squarespace is a publishing system for anyone looking to build a blog, portfolio, or any type of website. Squarespace offers a uniquely flexible tool for just about anyone. So no coding experience needed whatsoever. You don't need to go and learn any complicated coding to build high-end complex websites with the same functionality that you'd find on some of the highest traffic web pages on the web. So what that means is, if you want to set up your own little food blog, your own little film blog, Rob's into films, what are you into? Your own sort of porn site if you were Aaron. Only joking. If you want to set up any sort of site like that, basically all you have to do is come along and get Squarespace. I've used it before, really simple. An idiot could use it. I mean, you're talking Aaron's level type person could use this feasibly. So basically go along, support the show. If you go to squarespace/foodmob, you can get some discounts on there. Really, really cool. Love it if you could go along and check it out. Right. As I've been talking to you about the wonderful Squarespace, you can see that my meat is starting to take some color, right? We're not quite there yet because there's still a little bit of liquid in there. Want all that to go away. Now our rice, coming up to a very crucial stage at the moment. Remember I was telling you, this is the only way to cook rice? Could not be simpler. If I look in there, you can see it's sort of starting to come to the boil. What we want to do now is we want to create some sort of steam in there. We want to really get that rice steaming. Get rid of all the moisture and just be left with that lovely fluffy rice. So as it comes up to the boil at that temperature, I'm going to use a lid, a little plate. You could use a lid if you had a saucepan that fit it exactly. And what I'm doing is, if you can see there on the edge, Aaron, I'm just leaving a tiny little bit of air. So you want to get that moisture out of there. You don't want to cover it up completely, otherwise it'll just go all sort of soggy and disgusting. Crucially, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it right down. So we're talking like number 1. I've got a sort of a 1 to 9 temperature here. I'm going all the way down to number 1, and I'm just going to let that sit. It's going to take about 15 minutes. Should be absolutely perfect. Don't need to do anything else. That's the amazing part. We might stir it once or twice, but we're pretty much done. Now our meat, pretty much all the moisture is gone out of there. Now the most important thing, chili, okay? A lot of people use jalapenos. You were saying you might use fresh chilies, Rob?
Yeah.
You would have thought, yeah.
Or even jalapenos.
Jalapenos. If you want that real nice chili flavor, and how chili should always be made, is dried chili. This one is mild. Dried herbs and seasonings are sometimes sort of underrated, and people think that they're not really good for cooking. The fresh is always best. This is one occasion where using dried stuff is actually better than the fresh stuff. Okay, so in there with a generous amount of that. I'm going to add in a little bit of Cajun seasoning as well. Not sure if that's, you know, completely how the recipe should be traditionally made. I've just always done it like this. I think it sort of varies things up and adds a little bit of extra flavor in there. So just real generous. Don't be shy. In that goes. Can you smell those sort of chili flavors already?
Yeah, sting in the eyes.
Sting in the eyes. So stirring that around, I'm going to actually whack in another little bit. I don't think you can ever have enough chili. Already starting to smell amazing, and the key at this stage is to cook that out for a good 3 or 4 minutes. Like, really want to get that chili working, get the browning on the beef. This is the stage where all the flavor is going to come into the chili. So cook that around. Make sure there's no big sort of lumps in your ground beef. Evenly distributed those spices. Next couple of ingredients that I have. First off, some chopped tomatoes. Just regular chopped tomatoes in a tin. I don't like my chili too wet. Do you like it like wet, or do you like it nice and sort of thicker consistency? Bit thicker. So, starting to take on some lovely color. Actually I wanted to talk to you about somebody who was talking in the forums today about wanting to... Sorry? Yeah, Culinary School. He basically wanted to, he was having a midlife crisis, and he was saying that he's been a programmer or tech guy, which a lot of people who watch this show would have been for the last 20 years. And I think he got laid off, and he's talking about maybe becoming a chef now or having a complete career change. What do you guys think about that? Would you be interested in going to work in the kitchen?
I don't know.
The private chef thing sounds good, but not in the kitchen.
Normal kitchen?
Yeah.
Kind of a bit stressful in a normal kitchen.
Yeah, it is a fairly stressful environment, all right. A lot of people, I've seen it on TV shows, and usually people who've got a lot of money and are in their middle ages, you see them on TV and they always think they can go and open their own restaurant. Have you seen like tons of people? They think because they can cook a dinner party for 3 or 4 people at home that they could go and open a 40, 60-seater restaurant. It doesn't work like that. Restaurants are a really pain in the ass to sort of run. People don't think about the washing up or the cleaning grease out of grease traps, or, you know, taking the bins out at midnight. Like, people never see that side of restaurants. So it's a pretty tough experience. So I'd say if we're talking to this chap here, I'd say maybe stick with the programming, because I've always thought that I should have been a programmer, because I just see the money that you guys make and it's rock star wages. Really is. Programmers are just really in demand always. Okay, just have a little peek at our rice just to show you that it's coming along. See the way that's already starting to cook perfectly? Can you see in there? Do you want to see again? Very dodgy cameraman. Two takes Aaron, that's what we call him.
When have we ever called me that?
No, never. And it's so getting edited out. As of now, 2 take Aaron. Okay, so now the crucial part of the chili. I'm always saying there's a crucial part, everything's crucial. We're gonna turn it right down, okay? So this is gonna take about 20 minutes. The rice, practically ready, that's also gonna take about sort of 15 minutes. Real low temperature. The beauty is we don't have to do anything now. We can just leave those, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna go out to the shop and get the cheese and the sour cream, which we completely forgot to buy. Aaron, now Rob. Yeah, even though I didn't put it on the list.
Aaron, but for once we're gonna go nice.
I'm gonna say it's your fault. Cool. So there's nothing to do. We're gonna leave that for about 15 minutes, and when we come back, miraculously, we'll have chili and perfect rice. Hurry up! Rob!
Rob!
Run! Run!
Hurry up!
Right, so we're back. Rob's back from the shop. Thanks very much, Rob. Did a bit of jogging over there.
Bit too much exercise for my life.
Now, while we've been away, check that rice out. Pretty much done. Lovely and fluffy. All we're going to do is just sort of stir them up. So that's ready. I'm going to turn that off. Take the lid off. Perfect rice, Rob. Look. You'll know for the next time now. Couldn't be easier. Just dip your fingers in. Real scientific. Now, finishing up the chili. Kidney beans. Can get fresh kidney beans, but you've got to soak them overnight. You've got to do loads of real annoying shit to them. So just get them straight out of a can. Much easier. And I actually find that because they've got that lovely sort of little juice that they come in, actually helps with the sauce. So in those go. It's starting to look like a chili now. So bring that together. Little secret ingredient that I'm going to add is, oh, the lid's on. Hate that. Bad prep there, Rob.
Yeah, cheers,
Rob's screwing us around today. Oh, it's all over the place. Just dump it in like that. Tiny bit of ketchup. Wash my hands. What the ketchup does is it's got that sort of natural sweetness on it, and it's just really helps with the sort of saucy consistency that we're looking for. That's the chili nearly done. I'm just going to add in one little extra ingredient, which is a little chicken stock cube. So just crumble that in. Just helps sort of bring up that flavor a little bit. Little sneaky trick for you. Tiny bit of seasoning with some salt. Just bring it all together then. And that is some pretty quick chili that is absolutely gorgeous. And the good thing about chili is it gets better if you leave it day by day. So I usually make a big batch and just leave it there. So we're going to be eating chili for a few days, lads. Now, as I serve this up, actually, competition. Told you about it last week for the first time. It's a Nokia 3G booklet, which has got some fantastic Wi-Fi connectivity. Really cool prize. All you have to do, the competition ends at the end of this week on the 10th. All you have to do is follow us on either Twitter, so it's twitter.com/foodmobtv. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/foodmob, or friend us up on Facebook. No, like us up on Facebook. How do you say that now? It's not fan us up anymore. It's like us up. Like us up on Facebook. People were having problems with the Facebook page last week. That's sorted. I think there was a small little glitch with it. I'm not going to blame you again, Rob. It wasn't you this time. So chili served up very simply like that. Real rustic, delicious food. Couple of last little ingredients. So Rob's freshly brought cheese, which he jogged for very kindly.
Freshly brought
Straight from the cow.
Straight from the cow. Nice, generous amount of that up on top. And then to combat that heat, a real nice big dollop of sour cream, which just for people who don't like it really hot, having that sort of natural sour cream is just absolutely perfect. Yeah, works just as well. Dollop up on top like that. I think I might actually just a couple of little coriander leaves, just to sort of make it real nice and tasty. You grabbing a picture of that? I think that looks absolutely delicious. Now all you have to do there is tuck into that, because I think that is a real treat. Get stuck in, nice and hot as requested. So as the lads get stuck into that, I'll tell you about our second sponsor of the week, which is Gamefly. So Gamefly is the largest online video game rental service and offers you a choice from over 600 new and classic titles across all consoles and handhelds. With plans starting at $15.95 a month, Gamefly members can rent 1 to 4 games at a time and keep them for as long as they like. There are no late fees, no due dates, and no shipping. Free shipping, as always. So, games, guys. You've been talking to me, harassing me all week about, what is it, Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption.
Red.
It's made by the guys.
Yeah. It's not the same thing, bro.
No, it's different.
And what, they're like lasso and...
Lasso, it's just the business.
And to tell us how sad you are, how many hours straight did you play this on your own at the weekend?
How many hours straight or how many hours?
How many hours total?
I'd say about 16.
16 hours of Red Hand Commando.
Red Hand Commando.
What's it called?
Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead Dimension. And what were you playing, Rob?
I was playing Super Mario Brothers Wii, but I was saying that I pre-ordered the Super Mario Galaxy 2.
So yeah, basically Gamefly's made for you guys. If you wanted to not shell out, how much did you shell out for your game?
I'll be paying 50 quid.
50 quid. Sign up for Gamefly, which is $15.95 a month. You could get it, and then you could get a whole load of other games either. Makes sense. You guys are idiots for not being on there. Okay. A tip that everybody's been asking for in the forums, everywhere we go. Where do we go? Everywhere we are online, people are always asking us for knife skills and how to do really simple things like chop an onion. So dicing an onion is actually really, really simple. But nearly every single recipe always calls for a diced onion, and nobody actually knows how to do it. What they'll do is everybody knows how to peel an onion. Very, very straightforward. Just like that. Get rid of the skin. And what you're left with is this big thing that nobody really knows how to attack. I've seen loads of people and they'll come along and they'll kind of hack it in a load of different ways and just kind of mince it up. There's an easy way to do it that'll get you a perfect dice every time. So first thing we want to do is straight down the middle. And you'd be surprised how many recipes this is in. Now, what we're looking for is there's a little root of the onion there, okay, which you can probably see. You want to put that away from you. And what we're going to do is we're going to make incisions about 90% of the way down the onion. Now you can see, can you get that on close up, Aaron? That I'm not actually going all the way down the onion. I want the root to stay intact. So I'll make little incisions about every, quarter of an inch, say, so you've got all your thin slices. Then I'm going to go the other way. So holding the onion together, I'm going to cut across all the way to the back. Looks quite difficult, but it's not once you've done it a couple of times. And what's going to happen now is because we've got all those layers across and all those layers going that way, when we cut I'll use this knife actually, it doesn't matter what knife you use. When you cut across, you'll see that you've got the perfect little small dice. See that? You're never going to be in doubt about how to cut an onion again. The beautiful thing is that all the onions are the same size, all the little pieces. So you're not going to have sort of some burn and some not being cooked. They're all perfectly uniform in size. What you'd see now is a lot of people coming along and chop and try to make it the same size. What that does is it makes the onions bleed, and if you do it like this, they're just perfect. So how to dice an onion really, really simply in less than about a minute. So you've got a new little tip there. We'll try and give you as many tips as possible. I think people really like the simple ones. Would you have known how to chop an onion, Rob?
Not like that.
Perfect onion. That's it pretty much for this week, guys. We want to see all your photos. I want to hear about your chili because I know that's going to sort of cause a bit of debate, and some people will say, that's rubbish, don't do it that way, you do it this way. That's great. More people we have debating, the better. Send us in your photos to our Flickr group. Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/foodmobtv. We're on YouTube, which is youtube.com/foodmob. Why are you shaking your head?
They already know all this, come on.
People need to be reminded. They always forget. So that's where we are. You know where to find us. Share all your great food content. You know how to make chili and dice an onion. That's it for Food Mob this week. Cheers, guys.